The Zerg from the Starcraft game and its sequels, as well as expansion packs, are a type of swarm aliens with powerful psionic powers and evolutionary powers. While we do want to dive deep into the evolutionary aspects of these life forms, we shall first take a look at what are the largest Zerg species and life forms that exist as of the current date. That is not including the Ascended Queen of Blades, which is essentially a reborn Xel'Naga, a new life form. Forget about that, let's get to the biggest. At number 15 we have Dehaka. Dehaka is a Primal Zerg pack leader from Xerus, one of the last remaining leaders of its kind. He is a bipedal creature with two pairs of arms, one large and one small. Dehaka recognized Kerrigan as the strongest Zerg and along with his pack allied with the Swarm, believing Kerrigan's leadership would lead them to new essence and power. Number 14. Kraith and Sliven. According to Zervan, Kraith was immense and consumed by hatred. Kraith is another Primal Zerg pack leader on Xerus, known for his rapid projectile attacks where he fires small, immobile creatures in a wide spread but in a short range. Sliven, also known as the Eternal Mother, is another Primal Zerg pack leader on Xerus. She resembles a swarm host but is significantly larger than the standard strains. Number 13. The Overseer. Overseers are genetically altered overlords that have a mass of additional sockets filled with highly evolved optical receptors, or eyes, with hypersensitive retinas. Unlike most other Zerg breeds, but like overlords, Overseers have the ability to act with appropriate judgment. They are amongst the rarest breeds in the Zerg genome. Number 12. The Devourer. Devourers are bigger and more massive evolved forms of the Mutalisk, resembling a wasp in appearance. They are significantly larger, but slower and more durable compared to the Mutalisk. Despite these changes, Devourers retain the Mutalisk characteristic tail, from which they spit venomous corrosive acid at aerial targets. Number 11. The Overlord. Overlords were evolved from Gargantus proxima, a species of gigantic spacefaring creatures, which are also semi-intelligent, which volunteered to be assimilated in order to avoid extinction. On average, Overlords were approximately 18.8 meters in length, and these Overlords possess large bulbous brains, which is protected by a heavily armored weave of bone and cartilage, and they act as psionic links to the swarm. Number 10. Yagdra. Yagdra was one of the Primal Zergs, a pack leader in Xerus. Yagdra closely resembles an ashworm in appearance, and he was considerably larger in stature than most other Primal Zergs. He could spit gobs of destructive acid that, according to Zervan, burns like fire. He also has the ability to dive on the ground, leaving X behind in the process. Number 9. The Vipers. The Vipers were originally a type of Primal Zerg. Their unique, vicious defenses drew the attention of Abathur, who brought their essence to the Zerg swarm. Vipers lack any form of direct attack, but they are extremely dangerous in their role as support strains. They appear as very long, spiky wasps with an elongated abdomen. Number 8. Ultralisks. Ultralisks are the most powerful ground units in the swarm. Their genetic material, refined through numerous tests and experiments, only ensure the best genome is used by the larvae, which would morph into these behemoths. These living battering rams serve as the backbone of the swarm, acting as primary siege breakers. Number 7. The Tarask. Tarask, also known as Tarask, is a specialized Zerg strain derived from the Ultralisks. Notably resilient, the Tarask is capable of resurrecting itself, which requires an immense amount of energy. Only a few Tarasks are known to exist, and they are larger and faster than the standard Ultralisk. Number 6. The Brutalisk. The Brutalisk is a variant strain of the Ultralisk, resembling a cross between a Zergling and a Hydralisk. While powerful, Brutalisks have a very slow movement rate. During the End War, several of these were enslaved by Ammon and was added to his brood. And after the End War, one was among the feral Zerg lured to the Terran Dominion colony of Borea by the Defenders of Man. They are very spiky. Number 5. The Omegalisk. The Omegalisk is a heavy assault Zerg strain similar to the Ultralisk, but significantly larger. Zeratul, one of the Protoss, observed Omegalisk in apocalyptic visions of the future, where they were a part of an Ammon-controlled swarm that annihilated the Protoss in their last stand. In addition to Kaiser Blades, which all Ultralisks have, these Omegalisks also have spiked tentacles, capable of attacking multiple opponents simultaneously. Number 4. The Broodlord. Broodlords are massive manta-like flying creatures that serve as the swarm's aerial siege units. They are used only in the largest of conflicts. The Broodlord was originally morphed from a Corruptor. The glowing bulbs and tails on the Broodlord are an evolution of the Corruptor's tentacles. They are amongst the biggest Zerg strains and the longest in the air. Number 3. Zervan. Zervan, also known as the Ancient One, was a Primal Zerg from Xerus who had lived for millions of years. While younger than the power in the first spawning pool, Zervan was significantly older than the first Overmind. it managed to avoid being incorporated into the swarm by Ammon and was hiding in Xeros. Notably, Zervan was the largest Primal Zerg, being twice the size of an Ultralisk. Number 2. The Nidus Worm. The Nidus Worm is a Zerg transport strain, which is way more massive than the biggest fighting strains the Zerg can produce, and appears to be a subterranean worm. It was an evolution of the Nidus Canal, well, essentially a part of a network or a structure, but it can be thought of as a type of life form. They live inside these nest-like structures called the Nidus Network, and can travel from the network to any nearby location, transporting hundreds of Zergs, and so they can be hundreds of meters in size. And number 1, the Leviathan. The Leviathans are Class 10 Zerg flyers equivalent to capital ships in space, and the largest in Terran records, measuring around 11 kilometers long. They are larger than the mothership of the Protoss, but smaller than an Ark ship, and they have been described as moon-sized. Well, small moon size. Leviathans have interior evolution chambers and can store tens of thousands of Zerg strains and are capable of deep space travel and planetary landing. They can operate in near absolute zero temperatures and travel even through warp space. So those are the 15 biggest Zerg strains from Starcraft. Anyway, if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and if you want to check for other Starcraft content, then we might just do more of these in the future. So like for support and subscribe. And while you're at it, bang on the bell icon for notifications and new video uploads. Till next time, take care, boys.